curious to know, what, if any, impact has it had on you outside of school?
Well, I suppose it has in my family situation to some degree, because obviously my husband knows what I'm doing about it, and I get in a situation perhaps with my grandchildren. I go and see my daughter and she's fraught with the grandchildren, and I go in and try some of these techniques because it seems when they're really young it's quite open to, but you can take on and come in and be the calm person and do that, and we do talk things through because of the jobs that she's got, jobs that my husband's got. We do talk these things through, so I think between us, it is a learning thing. It's a whole way of learning and changing the behaviour of children that are stressed, upset, miserable, whatever it is. And so I use it quite a lot in that situation, mostly with kids.
I think for me it's just opened up possibilities that I didn't think were possible. So I think, the whole business of going to Zimbabwe would never have happened if I hadn't been on the NLP course, because I would never have thought about it. I would never, the questioning was enough to get me started on a road that made me think, well, what do I want? What really do I want to do? And so you start engaging with this, and then you think, well, that's not possible, and then you start believing it's possible, and a whole range of things happen. So I do find that, and I do find I look at situations now from a point of view that even when things are difficult, I still think, well, it was like after I had the car accident, and you said to me, everybody else had gone, oh, are you all right? And you're thinking, please don't be nice, because I'm feeling terrible about this. And you said, so what are you going to take? What's unique, or what are you going to learn from this experience, from this unique experience? And it flipped me instantly into, well, what am I going to learn from this? I'm learning from this that I had put myself in a situation where I was completely overtired. I should never have got to this state. I shouldn't have got in the car feeling like that. So what do I do to stop myself getting there? So it just flipped the whole thing. It made what seemed to me a very negative situation where I felt at fault, and because I had complete lack of concentration and what I could have caused, and that's the way my mind would have gone. What could the outcome have been? And it wasn't anything major, but it could have been, and that's where I was. But having that conversation, I wasn't in there then. I thought, yeah, okay, what can I learn from this? This is what I can learn. And I think I apply that now in a range of different situations. Well, it isn't always my fault. What have I learned from this? What can this show me? And so it opens up. It's about opening up possibilities instead of closing everything down.
I think
that's how I see it.
I think with friends or at home, or whatever, I think I tend to unpick things more. Something happens and your mind's thinking, it's not just reacting. I find that my mind thinks, okay, well, how can I do this? You might listen to something that friends are saying, and what have you thought of, and what about this? And you sort of come from it from an outsider's point of view, because you almost stand back and look at the situation, and like the perceptual positions almost, and you sort of start to unpick. And I think that keeps everything in my head, for me, a little bit more level in a lot of situations. So I do use it quite a lot, I suppose, thinking that in a way.
And those perceptual positions, that's such a useful technique. When you're really struggling in a situation, to actually sit back and think, okay then, what really is going on here? And to look through those three positions, I find that very, very valuable. Especially in stressful situations.
Yeah. My husband came home with a sort of difficulty at work the other day, and I got this email, and this is what it said in the email. And I said, well, probably wasn't meant like that. If you're in her position, how would you see this situation? And you're not really thinking, I'm doing NLP, I'm doing perceptual positions. So it's just opening up. It's taking that look at it and saying, oh yeah, no, she shouldn't have done that, and going along with it, and saying, well, hang on, let's look at it from a different point of view. Does it sound the same now? It calmed him down off.
That's not bad thing. But just finally, if there was someone who just heard a tiny bit about NLP and was considering whether it was worth their time investigating any further about its possible application and use in teaching, is there anything that you would say to that person?
I'd say definitely yes. It's not going to do you any harm whatsoever, and if you go into it with an open mind, it can only add, I think, to what you do. It just gives you, well, it either gives you another dimension, or it confirms what you already do, and you then can pick the things that you do that go well, and the things that you do that don't go so well, and you can start to sort of analyse and they come down more on one side than the other. You know, I mean, I constantly sort of question if something doesn't go well. Instead of saying another day, you tend to think, well, why didn't that go well? What did I do? But I think yes, it's all part of, because it's all about communication. If you're teaching, isn't it? You're trying to communicate, and the best you can do that. And calm, you can keep yourself and keeping you. I think that's the important thing as well. Keeping yourself calm in order to then see what the difficulties are with the youngsters and how you can help them. It's not all about difficulties. And how you can get the best out of them.
Yes, yeah, I'd say definitely yes. I think it's what you learn about yourself, and I think there's some, on some of the courses I thought something has changed, but I couldn't put into word what has. But I know something has, and I think it just affects you as an individual, and that's bound to have an effect on your teaching and how you portray yourself, everything, the confidence you have in a situation. I think. Yeah, I'd say definitely go for it. In fact, I saw somebody just recently in the supermarket who told me years ago that he was doing an NLP course. I didn't know what it was. And he said, oh, Linda, I think you'd really like it. And I've kept that in my mind. And I saw him again this weekend and said, actually, I have done it. And he said, well, you loved it? I said, absolutely, I loved it. And I said, I'll be going on to do the next level of the course, which he was very jealous of. So I think it's been a really good thing, a really positive experience.
I think to some
not to be afraid of doing it.
Yeah, to some degree, people think it's like another mumbo jumbo thing, but it's not really. It's confirming what you already do, but it's just making you more aware of it. I think.
Yeah, heightening your sensitivity to things.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not you're not having to learn. Well, you are having to learn all these things, but it's not. You don't have to completely change what you're doing. It just confirms what you're doing, and so you practice more of the things that go well and leave behind the things that don't.
And I think it sometimes makes you think, oh yeah, that's why I was doing that. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Oh yeah, I understand that now. There's a reason that's why it's like that. And that's good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, ladies.